Good day to you, Fallstorm492996 here. Um, a lot of people are starting with interesting information on there, which is a good thing. Much of football and podcast works, I guess, like Springer or something like that with closing remarks. Except for here, it is kind of closing and opening remarks. Golden ticket and the different promotions of the year kind of work like a WWE pay-per-views, and each one releases headliners, marquee ones, the thing that means. And uh, sometimes there's more depth and less depth. I remember back in the early fall, there were cornerbacks always being released, along with wide receivers and the cornerbacks and safeties. There's four corners. Uh, I'm in on too much. The corners are part of the base formation 3-4-4-3 and into the nickel. You usually use three corners for that. And the dime coverage uses four corners. So they were kind of filling out that roster. Now, in the same token, in some other promotions, there are other people who don't do so, and that means as releasing a video in or video releasing cards in the NFL 1 or NFL Honors or Easter Scramble with four corners, which means without four corners really can't fill in with the new rising metas, the 91 zone corners going from the 3-4-4-3 to nickel to dime in that means. And so you might have like one corner with 91 zone, but the other three corners without. But seeing that that's a possibility and which ones are carrying over despite selling team for a whole new promotion, I wanted to place up some of the ones that have stuck around for me. I crossed 1,500 challenges 2 months ago. I think about 60 days ago. So 60 to 70 days, 50 to 60 days in there, I crossed 1,500 challenges. I might be up to 1,600 to 1,700 challenges now throughout the Madden since September, really August 26th of last year, and of 2017. We're in 2018 right now. I think that's right. Today's May 17, 2018, in there. So they're from like position heroes, ultimate legends, blue legends turn into ultimate legends in part Act 2. We have draft people from the April 25th through 27th, April 25, 26, and 27 draft rookies. And so there were some special premier cards in that, which is awesome. And like the Michael Irvin was a limited time, Fournette was a limited time there during that time. That's right. So in your roster you have a position. The one I want to cover today is the 6 and Citadel that spill about corners. But they do the same thing for wide receivers from promotion to promotion. And that's probably the way it looks like in your binder. Wide receiver 1 is there, right there. Then wide receiver 2. Then the slot receiver, the Ricky Kroll receiver is there. Receiver 3. Receiver 4, 5, and 6. If you go not into your item binder, but into your just where your cards are, that's probably where it should be in that means. And in there, that is when a case you normally see in your base formation, that's an X and Z receiver or two receivers, type thing that means. If you get the Y, it will probably have a name like, let's see, do I have a picture of a Y? Trips, yep, there's right there, the Y off trips pat, so there should be two receivers there and one receiver there in that for a total of 3 receivers in between that. In the Y, so the Y receivers on the field with the X and Z receiver, or 3 receivers. Now, 3 receivers is listed that way along with the second 3 receivers for a total of 6. There's many ways that people I guess, Kasparov play their players, and I'm not gonna divulge into which one is more important and click off a firestorm of how one mention was less important than the other. I'm sure that could potentially excite other talk groups or podcast groups, but me, or maybe not. Maybe some of the other comments that they get on their podcast while they're trying to, conduct conversations. Yeah. This, as far as being the main addressed issue, here I've got 6 wide receivers, and what I wanted to address is not the really non-leading conversation or blog questions type thing that means. Yeah. But that's Larry Fitzgerald, and that's Calvin Johnson and Harold Carmichael. And you see it's wide receiver 1, 2, and 3 right there. And in there, that's Randy Moss at 4, 5, and Michael Irvin, which is not pictured there. It's because of their advice I was able to do other things. Yeah. And I'm sure, given the things that they've done, I don't match up to all resistance is futile type thing that means. But and Andre Reed is wide receiver 6. These guys are based off a whole collection of my 6 receivers, as in your roster when you build your team, the 53 roster 1 page. And on the team page, that's my 6 receivers. Now, for some, it's based off of maybe the latest review that Irvin is the number 1 out of 100 from the NFL draft one, limited, like the limited Fournette. But it was limited Michael Irvin, and so I saw him, and he was less than 2 million compared to the ones that were not number 1 out of 100, who were greater than 2 million in cost, and I went ahead and bought the number 1 limited time release Michael Irvin. From their videos and advice on the position heroes, you had Gut Fox, Xerxes, Jemias, Wills, Eric Rayweather about making your coin. Lot more videos out there taking that means, and depending on their podcast, some are more players than they are money in that, and so you have to kind of, some are more language oriented in that means and are quite lively in their podcast, but the other no, I shouldn't say that as far as on YouTube, but they stretch more of the kind of a pumpkin spice lattes in there. But it just depends on, some are very clean, but they might not have cleaner names or cleaner suggestions. So it's where business goes. But it's anywho, these things are terrible languages to at least in this one, in a long kiss goodnight, to share outside of curfew. But that they're very good at that. But these six receivers are my receivers. Michael Irvin should be lead since he was limited 1 out of 100. But as kind of inspection, you can see on my badge, I am not move the sticks and toughness all the time, or toughness pound the rock, or go deep. Toughness is really our main badge color type thing. That means with that extra speed. There's other things there to it too, but I think speed is probably going to be the headliner that would be most remembered in there. So with these 6 receivers, we're going to go to based off looking their run block. And so I got my playmaker guys here, although I think now all my 6 receivers are playmakers. And their run blocks are, except for Irvin, really aren't over 70. And the wide receiver 1, Larry Fitzgerald, 79 run block. Run block of Calvin Johnson's at 70, and he's 6'5". And run block of Carmichael is 80 and he's 6'8". And so these guys, my main run blockers they go into really not my fly plays, or my uber playmaker plays, or awesome playmaker plays type thing that means, like spectacular catch playmaking. Oh, these guys are more like per down thing that means. And even though they're stars, they're like first and second down, which I call like grind plays, where not only are they catching, but they're really in there for run blocking on the edge, to help spring the running back, even though they're wide receivers in that means. Oh, especially a 6'8" leverage guy with 80 run block on the outside, to help him kind of push things, although he's been working better in the 3, which would be the equivalent of one of the Y-off ones, because the 3 has the wide receiver out in the field. Oh, probably have seen some in some of the other videos of late with the 3 wide receiver halfback stretch or toss play. I think it's a stretch. And Carmichael would be the inside 3rd wide receiver, the pro slot receiver, blocking at the Y, helping him spring that initially to the left. And so, but in these grind down plays, you got your I form, you got your single back, and you've got your strong eye type thing. These are really first and second downs. I could be throwing in there and throw a Fitzgerald on single back to let him do that. Julio Jones, I don't believe, has the Brown toughness on any of his makeup. Oh, so he can't get +1 speed, I don't think. Oh, that's right. Toughness does do other things in there. I made a previous video on clutch in there, which I took down because I kind of felt like it offended the playmaking ability of other podcast people, and also kind of didn't want to offend EA, although they did make a box entitled Clutch as far as packs about 2 weeks after I made that video, about 2 to 4 weeks after I made that video on Lawrence Taylor, because Lawrence Taylor has no clutch ability, which means in first and third quarter he would have a 99 stat, like Larry Fitzgerald's 99 overall. But in second and fourth quarter, there's a potential chance, in the different mode of arcade simulation to competitive, like weekend league competitive, that in the second and fourth quarter without clutch, his stats could become like franchise clutch and fall from 99 to 75 overall in there, or 50 overall during the second and fourth quarter, during like 2-minute warning drives and things like that, which he would not. I guess his 50 stat would be aiding them in stopping the drive with a 50 stat instead of a 99 stat like his stat is normally in the first and third quarter. So I made a video about clutch and how clutch impacts competitive franchise, but I'm thinking it's similar to competitive weekend league as far as in Madden Ultimate Team cards. And so that's why I put that video together, and but I took it down to, because I thought maybe after the clutch that they were trying to, because the people that they were, I'm not sure if all the cards in the pack were clutch trait type thing that means. So I'm not sure if they're trying to say that these people could become clutch, or but even without clutch trait, or it's something that we're not going to make a weighted average 2, so that somebody doesn't say that like other players aren't clutch and it's the way you play them. But I just took the video down. I never got an email saying to take it down or anything like that. I just felt like they wanted some other direction. I didn't need to be part of it. So, not like that. And not like, systemic risk. Oh. So, which is probably as much as any podcast video, I guess. But that's okay. I hope. So these are my grind down type thing that means. And since these guys have run block, so this guy here, like in an I form, that could be Fitzgerald, but Fitzgerald could also be on the outside blocking with that, and he's got a 79 run block at 6 foot, 6'1", something in that nature. And then that would be Calvin Johnson, Megatron, on that side, and he's 6'5" with his 70 run block, and so that would, oh man, that would spring the running back here, going outside on that, and to go in between the center, the right guard, right tackle, and tight end, then the wide receiver, and with the halfback. So with these guys 99 string, versus a corner and like a cover 2, you might say the corner will come through the center first, I think that means, but they're usually on the outside, and their opposite is the center, but the cornerback in a cover 2's opposite is, or cover 3, is a wide receiver. Oh, which I think is why people usually weight the wide receiver compared to the center's impact on blocking to the outside, because they're further outside in that nature. So you would always want to think of the wide receivers. But my line, except for Bruce Matthews, are all 99 strength with 99 impact block. So with that, to me, at 99 run block, they're 99 impact block, which I don't think my wide receivers are. Some of them are in the 70s, type thing that means, with 79 run block. But most of my run block toughness guys are like 95 run block with 99 impact block, and 99 strength for the center and left guard, left tackle type thing guys in that means. And it's easy in a podcast to feel like that wasn't enough reason. That's why I guess you make a video about proof and need to keep seeing the interaction. Not so much of the wide receivers sometimes, but some of the middle of the pile, despite them not being the through point of that. Oh, because they get limited recognition and thus limited memory. In there as far as being part of the play. Because they conceal that backside type thing that means, but I think people usually will think of the tight end, because geometrically the tight end's on the outside of the center, right? And so they just wouldn't think of that. But that's another story. The wide receivers type thing there, those are my first down guys. If I see something I don't like and I audible in Omaha, Bluebird sense, and single back, I might go into a tight end attack or, I wanted to say that play. I'm trying to think. I think people know a tight end attack with 3 tight ends. Skinny post is really not a hidden play. Not a lot of people talk about it, but I've seen it on video before. I think I've seen it through Gut Fox or Wheels or something like that. Although he runs drag routes all the time. Yeah, likes cutting underneath the coverage, and with people switching some of the other cover 4 stuff, I could see why. Yeah. But the in that type of thing, that is a switch out to that. And I kind of like doing that myself. But if a read's not there, then probably not going to get the skinny post. Yeah. Especially with certain lurking going on. Yeah. But that, I guess you could say it's infinite type thing that means, but it's really not. Yeah. So now, that's the 3 wide receivers that I use from my team builder. In there's 3 wide receivers. To now the 4, 5, and 6 receivers, which are in the game change, what I call like the game changer packs. My fly players or plays. Now each of my players have a playmaker, 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 and playmaker on them. And some might want to use return guys or something on them, or energize type thing, but playmaker's a faster cut receiver from like, I don't know, 90 to 45 type thing at me. Oh, ew. And it's not quite that literal, but 90-45 or 90-50 or 99-50 is something that makes more sense in stack than 27 and 15 type thing in that sense. So, right, which would destroy that video. Yeah, it's game changer. Those are fly route people. Now, my people who don't block as well are usually faster. Type thing that means, and Moss is pretty fast with toughness. I think he goes from 97 to 98 in there, or 98, and with Madden he goes from 98 to 99, because Madden boast up one speed. I don't have tier 3 Madden. I don't have tier 2 Madden, although I can get tier 2 Madden with another 55 3 versus 3 games, I think, in wins, because I'm at 145 out of 200. But these guys are faster, and since they're faster, they do my gun split close, your halfback wheel stuff, your PF slide one type thing, a lot of videos on that, your trips tight end, your Y off trips one, things of that type of nature. And I could do it with Fitzgerald, who I think is 92, 94 speed, but doing it with Moss at 99 speed, 5 higher speed than 94 speed, is probably better at hitting that post route and that halfback wheel, which is now probably one of the most guarded ones in there. But he can also be on the top one on the PF slide route. Take the me. Oh, I should use Ingram in there because I do have Ingram on my team as the tight end. But Vernon Davis, with his toughness, I think he's toughness go deep from Position Heroes or Easter. He is not part of my 6 wide receivers. I don't sub a tight end to one of my wide receivers. There's 2 wide receivers in there, and the third one is a tight end in the halfback wheel with 2 halfbacks and the quarterback. And that tight end one, Vernon Davis usually makes that catch 9 out of 10 times, even when being popped in there, which is impressive. Even though Ingram's faster than Davis by like 2 or 3 speed, even on boost, I'm boosting top and bottom. So I'm boosting Vernon Davis, which means on bottom, Ingram's not getting boosted, but he's getting boosted by Madden, because Madden gives everybody on the team +1 global speed, and Ingram's on the team, which means he's not getting anything in the denominator type thing. He's on the team, he's getting boosted by 1. That's difficult math for those who want that in there. That means that's +1 there, and plus dash there type thing. That means because it's top and bottom as 1, and 1, oh, it's 1 and 1. Yeah. And that's, you can't change your opinion like that in voice. People don't understand. Well, anyway, there's no one in potential of trying to get ready for that type thing. Just let them make comments. Yeah. But the in that thing, and that means that's my grind receivers who are at like 94 to 97, 96 speed. And that's my fly receivers at 97 and 99 speed. I think Reed's at 97 with toughness and Madden. I think he's 95 base, but he gets 2 base off of that up to 97. And Moss and Irvin are like 98 and 99. So 97, 98, and 99 speed. And then that's why they go into gun bunch plays. Like the Y off trips Pats one type thing that means, with the wide receiver and the X one, where the wide receiver becomes in for the tight end at 97 speed. Or sometimes I put Reed at Z, then put Moss at Y at 99 speed in the inside post route, and then put Irvin on the X route at 98 speed. But those are my receivers. Again, there's other players starting a podcast. I just saw Jemiah's World podcast or make a video on Madden update to his Madden team update line review, and I'll probably try to title mine the same. That's my take on it. It's not their take. Watch their videos to find their take if you want. Highly recommend it. They put out a lot of great information. It is important to stay with them pretty much weekly, you know, if not daily, because they, in discussing things, kind of, despite headlining video, will discuss like pro tips in between their videos as they're just, you know, talking on. So it's worth tuning in from time to time to hear their opinions from their particular podcast or blogged video blog. And it's, you know, on YouTube, they're on Twitch, they're on Patreon. You'll find them. But there's my 6 receivers. I run 2 sets of 3s in there for grind and for game-changing fly routes for fly. And the fly ones are at 90, our top flyers at 99 speed. Yep, and that's a 99 speed post route. But I usually, some of my other grind stuff are run blocking. Moss has got like a 55 run block. and compared to Fitzgerald's 79 run block in there. I know his name carries more weight with that type thing, that means, but his run block is at that's Fitzgerald's run block at 79, and you probably wouldn't put Moss in a grind blocking thing type thing in front of Tomlinson and Barkley or somebody like that. Can't block. Yeah. But you would put Fitzgerald in there, and he's toughness punch too. Type thing. I mean, yeah. So I did put toughness on Moss, but that still didn't raise his run block in that. He's in it for the speed there. I think Fitzgerald is fairly strong as well. Yep. He's not as fast, and I know the popularity would take Jones, although Jones doesn't have the toughness one. But that's my 6 receivers. 3, and let's see here. That's X, Z, Y type thing. So X, Z, Y there. Oh, that's 3. 3 grind. And there is a single back wide trips type thing too, where the quarterback is underneath the center instead of backed up in shotgun. Oh, and so it is kind of still part of the single back class, or basically like single back ace type thing that mean. Oh, it's up close. That's grind play. Yeah. And so that's grind play compared to a fly play, which your shotguns usually do type thing that means. Oh, they usually have more routes that are more fly oriented type thing. I mean, there's a vertical post in single back, I think, but I think more people use the vertical routes other than the tight end attack one in a shotgun or empty shotgun type thing before. What are some of the other ones? Probably a vertical route and a bunch play type thing. That means, yep. Or I'm not the first person to mention bunch. There's no way. I think Gut Fox is the one who said that he liked bunch this year. Well, that's right. And Ray Weather's done one on bunch. And I know Gut Fox just did one on a bunch Z-spot one. That's a pretty good video. So, in there, really should check them out because I can't do their content. You just have to find their thing. And the other podcasts are just at your discretion. Some are doing like they've got girlfriends, you know, and significant others, and they're doing videos of their girlfriends rolling, well, their girlfriends getting better pack luck than them, and that's funny. And I think Jemiah's did one where she pulled a card or did Fortnite, and that was interesting. And Xerxes having his asked his girlfriend to do it. I think she pulled a legend, and Gut Fox does videos of the same type thing. That means where Foxy pulls. I think what was her last one? She pulled Larry Wilson. While they were trying to pull golden tickets or something like that. And I'm not sure what overall though type thing that means. And Fox, you know, and they're that I don't know all of them, but you know, I'm sure that's a humorous moment watching them pull. Like I didn't pull. See what it's. So. You know, but you pulled, I think that means that means you're amazing. Yeah. But no, anyway. And but that's my 2 different levels of plays, grind and fly, and my 2 sets of XYZ receivers. Wide receiver 1, 2, 3 thing there, and wide receiver 4, 5, 6 fly receivers. I usually like to keep my run blocking ones out there initially because I'm usually not fly route right out of the gate, and it's kind of a pain to pause and put all those guys in different places, like per other position, just to get outside wide receiver run blocking type thing. Might as well just start with them in that meet. Yeah. Because otherwise, I can start with Moss and Urban and then have to put in run blocking Fitzgerald and Calvin Johnson to then have to pause the weekend league game. No, just sub them into the fly ones. There's less of them anyway. Yeah, and so that's well. There's other stuff going on with that, but that's here or there. Anyway, that's my 6 receivers, and I'll probably do an update on corners, halfbacks, posted videos, and I'm sure people are like, is he using the Pro Bowl method of wide receivers? Kind of. I'm using the best receivers for my grind one, and then the best wide receivers for my fly one, despite tight end ones type thing it means, like in the gun Y off trips, Pats one type thing. Oh, that's right, that's right, that's right. And you can put a tight end in there type thing. Oh, that's right. But that's my 4, 5, and 6 wide receiver in there. I don't understand. Oh, it takes a while to kind of, you know, want that when another reason is more readily available. But just wanted to make a video showing the 6 wide receivers that are part of my team builder Madden Ultimate team in my lineup. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.